Hey y'all, it's Lindsay. Today I got my subscribe and save order from Amazon and I wanted to share with you really quickly what we got. We have subscribe and save set up for a lot of different things and I do a lot of playing around with when we get certain items purely based on when we need them. Sometimes these items I have set up for a 1-month subscription. Some of them I have set up for 6 months. Sometimes we need them sooner than 6 months, so I'll bump it up to that order that month. I love subscribe and save for the fact that it is so customizable. It can just I can easily fluctuate where things are, what things need to come for that month, what things we can push off another month and all that jazz to try to keep it reasonably cost effective. It does save us money, especially on one of these items that I have in my subscribe and save this month. So if that's interesting for you at all, I would love for you to hang around and keep watching. In my description box of this video, I will have a link to my Amazon storefront if you want to check out any of these items. I will also go ahead and link them in the description as well. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and open up my boxes. Full disclosure, I had cut this open and then I was needed by the tiny humans. So, momming comes first. They usually package this very well. I have had damaged items in the past, but for the, I don't know, past several years, things have been all right. Okay, one item that we have for this month is the Isopure Zero Carb Protein Powder. This is a whey protein. This is a staple in our keto diet because I use this in making my DIY baking blend. It is so great in that. I also use this often whenever I am making protein shakes. I love the Trim Healthy Mama flavored whey protein powders, but it costs quite a bit of money for the amount of servings you get, I feel, and it costs you shipping on top of that. So I try my best to stretch that protein powder, the flavored protein powders from THM. I try my best to stretch them as far as I possibly can. One way that I do that is I will do half a serving of the THM whey protein, and then I will do half a serving of the Isopure. The THM powders, I think they give you 20 grams of protein. The Isopure is 25 grams of protein, so I actually wind up bumping up my protein a little bit while helping the cost effectiveness of that protein. This is usually less than $40 on the subscribe and save. Some months I've gotten it for less than $35. I think the usual price is I think it's usually between like $42 and $45 if you're not doing subscribe and save. So for us, this is for sure worth it. I probably get this one about every 2 to 3 months, depending on how much baking blend we're really using. Okay, next. So this is the Hoosier Hill Farm Erythritol Granular Sweetener. I use this to make my homemade sweetener, my DIY sweet blend, which is the same as just the THM sweet blend, not the super sweet, not the gentle sweet, but with a granular erythritol, I can do a ton of things. It can stay granular for certain recipes where that's necessary. I can grind it up in our coffee grinder if I need to do that. I have a dedicated little $10 coffee grinder I use to grind sweetener as needed. So yeah, that is one that we get probably every 2 months based on the amount of sweetener we tend to use. And this is a 2.5 pound bag, 12 grams of sugar alcohol per serving, which is a tablespoon. This is usually really inexpensive. Usually it's less than $11. No, it's right at $11 on my subscribe and save. I think it's probably like $13, $12, $13 if it's not on subscribe and save. So it is a little bit of savings, and given how often we do use this, that adds up. All right. This I only get maybe every 6 months. This is Zint Collagen, or not collagen, this is the gelatin. This is grass-fed beef. It is fantastic. It doesn't have any kind of weird beefy flavors to it. I think some gelatins can kind of taste a little pork or a little beef-like. The Zint powders we've had no issues with. I use this in a lot of desserts. I use this in a lot of things to thicken it up. I don't actually show that very often though. I should probably start doing that. Anyway, really solid protein source. This is 11 grams of protein per 12 gram serving, so which is about a tablespoon. Love this stuff. I only do this one about every 6 months. Sometimes it even is 8 months. So this one is a solid bang for your buck, and I struggle to remember what I paid for that. Why don't we just pull that up? Okay, this is normally 36 bucks and I paid $34 for it. So a little bit of savings. Some items you'll find if you get the max savings, they're only 10% off. Some are 15% off. It really just depends on the item itself. All right, last thing in this box is my Viva Naturals MCT oil. I use this all the time. I think I get this one about every 3 months, give or take. What did I pay for this one? I want to say it was $26. Let's see how spot on my memory is or is not. Viewing the order. It's coming. Oh, $25. Sweet. So I love this MCT oil. Some people struggle with the oil and do much better on MCT powders, but I have found that this works beautifully. I use this in my homemade creamer that's similar to Nut Pods, but not exact. And yeah, it's a solid value. And on Subscribe and Save, we definitely saved money with that one. Okay, next box. Okay, this one I get about every 6 months. Sometimes I can stretch it to 8 months. And that is the Custom Collagen powder. This is the 5-pound bag. It used to come in a box that was then like a plastic bag inside of a box, but they've changed up their packaging to this little like zip top bag. This is much nicer in my opinion just because of the compactness of it. The box is sometimes a little tricky to store if you are limited on space, but this bag you can kind of like, I don't know, you can manipulate it a little bit better. This is my favorite collagen. This one, okay, sometimes I'll do this too. I will go in and I will cancel a Subscribe and Save item, and I will then try to get the newer deal for it that is better. So the Custom Collagen, that was the 5-pound that I did have on Subscribe and Save before. It was always out of stock, always out of stock. And so I went through and I just searched the item again outside of Subscribe and Save, and then they had like an add this to your subscribe and save, my word, that was tricky. And you get X amount off, plus your Subscribe and Save discount, plus like they just went through and all the discounts this time around. This bag is normally $70. Spread out over 6 to 8 months, that's pretty solid and doable for me. But I went through and bought it, and there was a $3.50 Subscribe and Save discount, another $3.50 off with a Subscribe and Save, plus a coupon for $14 off. So I paid less than $50 for this when it was all said and done. Because I think I had a $3 credit. Yes, I had a $3 credit from a different review that I had done. So I paid $49.81 after tax for this 5-pound bag of collagen that will last me for 6 to 8 months, give or take. And I use this in my homemade creamer as well. So for us, Subscribe and Save is for sure worth it, especially if you can stay on top of it. They send you an email every month telling you to review your order. I always go in, I always sort of shuffle things around based on what we need. Sometimes I will go through and get like little toothpick flossers that I keep in my purse for less than $1 if I want to make sure to get over that 5-item minimum to hit the maximum savings. Super simple ways. Sometimes I've ordered, like batteries for our bathroom scale and for our kitchen scale, and those are usually fairly inexpensive to bump us over to the 5-item like max savings threshold. So there's a lot of ways you can really make Subscribe and Save work for you. We paid for this ourselves. We're not being sponsored by anybody. We're not being paid by anybody. These are legitimately things that we buy every single time that we run out and need them. Some things are more frequent, some things are less frequent. I've said that already. So that's what we ordered this month on Subscribe and Save, and I hope that this shows you that you don't really have to spend a lot to do keto and do some of those more specialty things. You can add specialty ingredients into your keto lifestyle without having to break the bank or buy all of the specialty ingredients from major stores or from places where they will charge you buku amounts of shipping. I know that there's all the different places out there like Perfect Keto and Trim Healthy Mama and all these places, and they often will put out some, coupon codes or what have you and specials. And their products very well may be insanely superior to the ones that I'm showing you right here. But I've had great success with these. I have enjoyed all of these. They have been consistent staples in our life since 2016, and we're going to continue buying them as long as they work for us. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you in my next video.